Hi, gorgeous. This is episode number 336 with the wonderful Amanda Kunkel.
Hi, this is Amanda Kunkel. You are listening to HeartSells Podcast with Christine Schlonski. Enjoy.
I'm looking very much forward to this episode today, and I have to admit I am very curious how this is going to play out. Amanda Kunkel is a business psychic, and she connects women to the universe to receive their quickest, shortest, and most aligned path to 7 figures. She provides direct access to the universe, which is angels, spirits, God, goddess, and she assists radical self-thinking businesswomen who have demonstrated business maturity and the ambition for acceleration. With Amanda's support, they embark on a dimensional energy shift away from doing into being, and they hear their spirit calling loud and clear to step into their Elite Empress self. So I'm really into the magic that Amanda can provide, and I hope that this is going to be a ton of fun for you to listen and to be inspired. In case we have not met yet, I'm Christine Schlonski, the host of HeartSells Podcast and the creator of HeartSells Academy. And on the podcast, I talk to inspirational, successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs and business leaders about how they have built a wildly successful business. And in many cases, they also had to overcome their challenges in selling their own products and services. So some of my amazing past guests include Bob Burke, John Lee Dumas, Andrea Waltz, Kate Erickson, Susie Carter, Anthony Inario, Natalie Ledwell, just to name a few. And I'm really looking forward to the conversation with Amanda today. This episode is brought to you by HeartSells Academy, where we support heart-centered, ambitious entrepreneurs to redefine sales so they can exponentially grow their business and impact while creating a lifestyle and freedom they love. So if you want to know more, hop on over to christineschlonski.com and check us out. So let's dive into today's episode with Amanda, and let's see how the universe actually works, or how we can work with the universe to create even more success. Well, I am so super pumped you're here, Amanda. We are in for an amazing conversation, and I can't wait to dive deep with you today.
Thank you. And thank you for having me on as well.
Yes, I'm so excited. You know, there's so much knowledge, or maybe, some ideas around there. There's a universe, and somehow the universe can support us. Sometimes we believe it, sometimes we don't. And then, it's all this blurry thing. How do you actually manifest, and how do you get to a solid business with the help of the universe? And you even say you can get to a 7-figure business with the help of the universe. So I'm all ears. How did you get your journey started, so that people can get a little idea of what happened and why you teach what you teach?
Absolutely. So my journey has actually been a lifelong one, though it's been almost 2 decades that I've worked professionally in this area. Ever since I was a child, there was a little something different about me. However, I didn't know that there was actually something different with me. I thought all kids could hear things and see things and play with relatives that had passed over. It was around the time that I became a teenager that it became clear to myself and my family that I wasn't quite like other kids. At that time, though, I couldn't really control the information that I was getting, whether it was seeing, hearing, sensing, feeling, or just this knowing whether someone was a good person or a bad person. Couldn't control it. That's where in my late teens and early 20s, I really dived into wanting to be able to control it, not just for myself, but to help other people. I have found, even in my professional journey, that much of the population sees working with the universe as separate from business, separate from finances, separate from relationships, though sometimes you see all the people going to tarot readers or psychics to ask about love, but not actually diving deep into finding the way towards their desire, whether it's a love or whether it's which college do I go to? What career path do I go to? And so that's been something like I said, it's been almost 2 decades now that I really leaned into with my clients throughout the way. And I happened to stumble upon the fact that more and more women were booking with me, and more women had questions about money. How do I lean into finding more money? Where do I get more money? And as I spoke deeper to them, it was really they were entrepreneurs. And they were looking for how to actually scale their business was the real question, the root of it there. And they were taking the universe and seeing it as separate from working with. Business over here, universe over here, money over here. Universe gives me some tidbits about maybe where to go find it. When in reality, it all works together. In fact, it's like making sure you put the right gas in your car at the pump. You need both of them to work in tandem to see these quantum leap results. And so immediately the universe directed me to say to these women, okay, we're going to dive into this as one wholeness. And please know, when I speak about the universe, I speak about angels, spirit guides, God, goddess, the overloving feeling of love, Mother Earth, Father, Son. The universe is this energy that we give it different names, but it loves like any parent loves. And like any parent wants to see success happen without you constantly, tripping over your own 2 feet. So the universe is more than happy to provide here's how you work with us to hit all of your business desires, all of your love desires, your desire of what college to go to and how to get into that one. There's nothing too big or too small. And of course, today we're centered around universe and the business because that's part of my special sauce.
I love your special sauce. It's already so juicy. So let's just think about the listeners of the podcast. So there are probably people who might be struggling right now. Then there will be people who are doing okay. Then are people who are thriving in their business. And then are people who have like the 6 or even 7-figure business. Let's just start with those who are struggling. Do you have something that can put them on the journey to create a more fun, more rewarding business?
Yes, absolutely. So at each level of income, and money, it's just energy, right? There's no judgments here from the universe or from myself or anyone else. When someone is struggling in business, whether it's the clients, the money, the universe says, okay, take a deep breath and step back for a minute. When you or anyone else is focused on, I've got to do this thing. I've got to get clients or I've got to get money. Think of it like a toddler. You hand them a cookie. I'm not saying that somebody's a toddler, but just think of it this way. And they get all excited about the cookie, but they're new at it. So they grab the cookie and it just crumbles everywhere. So a lot of entrepreneurs in this spot, they are very excited and they're so happy to be in business and they're so happy to have had some clients and had some success. But usually it's, okay, I'm still really new at this and I'm just grasping. And then it's like the cookie being their business is just crumbling. So take a deep breath and take a step back and ask yourself, what is the truth in this? What is the truth in this? Which you can do at any time.
This is so counterintuitive though, right? Because most of us are trained, you got to work hard, right? And if it's not working, work harder so that you can make it work. And now you're saying, okay, take a deep breath, which sounds great. And take a step back. I'm just imagining because I would say that every entrepreneur has struggled at some point, right? So when I was in the situation where I struggled, I didn't feel I had the time to step back, even though I knew better. But just how do you conquer that notion to push even more? Like, do you really have to force yourself to just sit and meditate? Like, there's this saying, if you want to arrive fast, you have to work slower. And that's kind of might not be the best translation from German, but that's like what the saying is about. So I need to walk slower to arrive faster. It just, it's kind of hard to follow this logic.
The less I do, the better my results.
Ooh, juicy.
Really, this is about working with the universe. There's a lot of practicals, and this is about practice. So catching yourself, and we all still do it too, because we're in these human bodies with these human brains and the subconscious ego mind that's saying, no, you need to go do harder. And then I hear my guides going, hello, Amanda. Remember, I'm like, yes, you're right. But the only reason I can hear it so quickly and faster is because so much practice. So it comes back to the just being dedicated to your practice. Yes, there are doodads that you need to do in business. Of course, having a social media platform. Of course, having a way to take credit card bookings. Of course, writing copy or having a copywriter. There are all of these student doodads that you need to meet in the physical world. It's the pushing and the vibration of, oh my goodness, I need to get these sales because my mortgage is due, my car payments due. It is entirely different, right? And that's when you see things shrink and crumble because it's constrictive. And that's when you get to practice the pulling back and doing less. Where it is completely different are the entrepreneurs that are, I'm so excited for my next client or customer. I have this goal and I've only got a 5K stretch, whatever it is, for this month. And this is going to be fabulous. I can already feel them there. So it's this very excited outward energy. So there's a difference between the contraction and the, oh gosh, I have to, and the, this is so exciting. I can feel it as already here. And that's something that the universe really gets into women later when they're at the multiple 6 figures, getting ready to go into 7 figures. There's a lot more leaning in there. But the key of the super highway of abundance can hit with all levels of business owners. So whether you're struggling, whether it's somebody that's got the nuts and bolts down, and now this is the first time they're going to go, okay, it's the first time I'm going to scale my business. Let's see how this goes. The universe has spoken so much about this super highway of abundance. Really, it is the point when anything you desire, including business, money, just seems to come naturally here in the physical. And it is this concept of doing less. It is this concept of taking a big breath and coming back. It also helps collapse time, by the way. This is where people's ears really perk up. They're like, ooh, abundance and time collapsing. Yes, please.
Yeah. Let's talk about time collapsing, because I'm not sure if everybody understands.
Sure.
And it took me a while to get the idea, because from what I understood, like, we're in a quantum field. So everything is already there. Like, all possibilities exist. But with my mindset, with my frequency, I'm kind of on a timeline that I'm on right now. But all the other timelines, like me and richer, prettier, healthier, more fit, whatever, it already exists. But because I don't have the frequency, I can't get to that timeline. So shifting that can then collapse the timeline. So that's how I understood it. And that's just a beautiful, super, super exciting idea, because it's doable, right? Everybody can imagine. They shift their frequency, they kind of attract the right thing, and that exists at the other timeline, in the other now moment that I'm not tuned into.
Sure. So there are 8 main laws of the universe. And I believe I think it's called the law of polarity, where you were speaking about where one thing exists, the other side of it exists. So if you take a string, or in my case, my earbud string, and you say, okay, I'm over here on this end where I'm getting ready to scale my business for the first time. And way over here on this end, I'm assuming it's like 20 years out, is me at like multiple 7 figures. Completely different person, completely different business owner. The business owner at multiple 7 figures acts and makes decisions because they've, gone through the education, the years, the knowing differently than where you're at right now. And so when time collapsing happens, it's basically being, and this is where the universe, when we get into 7-figure stuff, the being is even bigger. But right now, just think of being the vibration right now of the 7-figure business owner. And what happens is when you're that being, that vibration, and bringing both sides together, that's where the collapsing happens. So yes, it's attracting, but yes, it's also, I just am. It just is. It is done. And so the universe says, oh yeah, you're right. Here you go. And both sides brought together. The superhighway of abundance is probably the quickest, fastest, and most fun way to do it. This is something that the universe has shown to me to share with people more recently. Again, anywhere along the way, you can practice this one to collapse several timelines, which is focus on joy. Feel the joy. Focus on excitement. Feel the excitement. Focus on the gratitude. Feel the gratitude. And this is about being in that state all day.
Wow.
And there's a little trick. There's a little trick. Almost everyone I've spoken to has said, yeah, when I was a little kid, I knew when it was my birthday, my parents would get me presents, and I just knew to expect the present. I didn't know what was in it per se, but I knew it would be enjoyable. It was probably a toy. I'd really like it. Or when I was older, maybe the keys to the family car, whatever it was. So in the morning of your birthday, you would wake up and you can, thinking back, you can feel how your body would feel that excitement. So if you have to trick yourself at first to like feel it, not just think it, but to feel it, start with your birthday.
Yeah, birthday. And when I heard you talking, like Christmas came to mind, right?
Yeah.
You just knew there's going to be something under the tree. And I hope that's true for all of our listeners, but it was just something you just knew. And that really brings up beautiful memories and feelings that will actually help you to higher your vibration if you're not already in that great vibration.
Yeah, exactly. And the practical side then is, instead of hitting your head, off the wall or your desk, go get a really awesome business coach that matches your vibration. As we know, there's so many different ways to do business these days. There's online, in person, which mostly has transferred to online during this time period. However, there's ads and funnels, or there's the organic lead. Like, there's all these different things you can do. So don't listen to what other people tell you you're supposed to be doing. Do what feels good. Book the coach that feels good. Maybe it is funnels. Maybe it is sales, right? You do a Facebook sale connected to a funnel, and you do the email sequence, and yay, that's your thing. It's not my thing. I'm all about people to people. I love people. I'm all about organic and making connections. But we're all different. And so luckily there's so many different coaches out there. So when you're in the beginning or you're just getting ready to scale, that's a lovely way of find the person who can teach you what you know in your heart is your way of doing business. And then just know, like you know, when you're in joy and you are you're expecting that scaling. You're so happy for these new clients. You can't wait to meet these new customers. That is when it just comes.
All right, a question that probably a lot of people have, thinking, okay, well, I can tell myself, but I know it's a lie. I'm not there yet.
Mhm.
Like, how long do I need to practice that I believe that lie, that I can feel the lie, and the lie becomes my reality because now I feel it. Now I have the inner knowing.
Mhm.
What advice could you give around that?
As long as it takes. And it's going to be different for every single person. However, like I said, when you really get into the practice, it starts getting quicker, faster, easier. Like it speeds up the more you do it. However, your brain, the ego mind, the subconscious, it's going to tell you all sorts of lies. The lies that you're probably already hearing, which are, oh my gosh, am I really good enough at this? Can I really make it? Can I really scale to 6 figures? I don't think I'm smart enough. Or so your brain's gonna tell you lies no matter what. Which
Right.
one do you want to tell it? Do you want to tell the feel good ones? Or you just want to let it like run amok on its own and not feel so good?
Yeah. So basically you can just decide to feel good. And then that helps the whole process. And then it takes as long as it takes.
Exactly.
Right? But not giving up, but believing it is that next timeline and you can collapse it. It's just beautiful, so powerful.
When the quantum leaps take place, it is something that people experience then as, of course this happened. And not like, oh my gosh, I'm not worthy or deserving. And it's like when your subconscious is not going to go to that space, the quantum leap will just happen. You don't have to force, you really can't force atoms, right? Unless you do some like weird science thing where you break them apart.
I was going to say, as long as you're not in the CERN Institute in Switzerland, you can't.
Exactly. So this is about the allowing things to come and not trying to control so hard. It's what a lot of people call the feminine side of business. However, I also want to be clear that the masculine side of business needs to be honored. You can't move forward with all of your desires if it's only focused on the feminine or just focused on the masculine. They both need to equally honor, adore, and respect each other. We have all in this 3D world just been trained to do the masculine, trained to sit down and do emails till 2 a.m. and answer them on the weekends, because that's what all of our first bosses told us that we were to do. And to, stay at the computer typing out copy till your eyes bleed. Not that they're actually going to bleed, but because if you can just tweak it just a little bit more, then maybe that's just how we've been taught. So it's honoring the masculine, respecting it, and then allowing the self to receive. Trusting, and it really comes down to trusting yourself, trusting the universe, and then receiving from that place of trust.
That sounds so, so good. I'm super excited because you brought us a wonderful, wonderful, super exciting gift. It's called Shift into 7 Figures with Your Intuition. So now everybody has an intuition. So there basically is no excuse that you couldn't be doing it. Tell us about your gift.
Absolutely. It is a very succinct PDF that helps you lean into your own intuition. Yes, there are times when you can DIY it, because the more you're into your intuition, the more you can listen and feel the universe supporting you and guiding you to the next steps and to feeling safe and secure and to being excited. So this is really for you to feel good on a daily basis, to get into that intuition feeling of your own, and to know you are making the right decisions. Really, you are. Know that. Yes, there may have been times in your life when you've gone, well, I made that decision and look what really happened. There is no wrong choice. There's just, what have I learned and what can I do next time? So continue to listen to your intuition. You've never made a wrong choice.
So, so powerful, especially when we doubt ourselves from time to time. There's no wrong or right. There just is. And that gives so much peace. Awesome. Is there anything you'd love to leave us with? Because I have the honor to have a next episode with you, and I would love to dive into more how to create the 7-figure business. But what would you like to conclude for this episode?
Know that your business is a balance between the physical doings and leaning into the universe and being, which we will dive into that being in our next episode.
Wonderful. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you so much for having been here today, Amanda. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to talk to you next.
Thank you.
Well, I would really love to know what you think about this episode. You can always reach out and send us an email to info@christineschlonski.com. And what I'm taking away from this episode, and that's something I've been reflecting on over the past month, is actually how can I do less and be more? Because oftentimes we get so caught up in doing, and we forget the being. Just being present, being ourselves, being available for success, being available to receive. And that creates another quality in your life once you understand that shift. And I'm still working there on that shift. So it's always something I'm grateful for to learn about, and how to make life easier, more fun, be more often in flow. So hop on over to christineschlonski.com, find the podcast tab with Amanda. It's episode 336, and we have a transcript for you. We have the show notes, all the links that connect to Amanda, and also her wonderful gift, the shift into 7 figures with your intuition checklist. And you just want to hop on over to christineschlonski.com, check out all the good stuff over there, and also subscribe to the empowerment notes so that you get updates into your inbox, and also some ideas and tips and strategies I usually do not share on social media. I hope you're tuning into the next episode with Amanda Kunkel, how to scale to 7 figures with ease. And I'm wishing you a wonderful day wherever you are in this beautiful world. And I'm saying bye for now.